Hello and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. We have a locked room mystery on our hands with a mid-flight murder. Edgeworth was able to prove himself innocent in the last episode, but now we have to figure out just what exactly happened. Alright, let's have a quick look around before heading to the crime scene. Start over here.
Excuse me, but may I have a word with you? You there.
If you need something, please ask Miss Rhoda over there, okay?
What the? Hey, wake up, you.
I'm terribly sorry that she's being so rude, Mr. Edgeworth.
No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe that she's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'd see to it that her salary was cut so low that it was in the red.
Is she holding like... What is she holding? She's holding like a cat or something. Do you see that in her arm? It's like wearing a little hat. I think she's very good at sleeping, I have to say. How did you find your meal to be, Mr. Edgeworth?
Come to think of it, I forgot all about it. I must have been asleep or something.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Let me prepare you something right away.
What are you apologizing for, Miss Teneiro?
I failed in my professional duties by letting a passenger go hungry. Please, help yourself. If you see anything to your fancy, feel free. I want a flight attendant to tell me that.
I think I'll take my time later, after I've solved this case. Thanks.
Great.
Mr. LeBlanc seems to be protecting the gargantuan vase in the chair rather closely.
It's a marvelous vase though, isn't it? Yes, I dare say so as a professional attendant.
I don't think there's any real connection between a piece of art and being an attendant.
But I'm not just any old attendant. I'm a professional flight attendant.
As though there were such a thing as an amateur flight attendant.
It's probably best not to reason with her when it comes to being a flight attendant, or how proud she is of it. Oh, I just saw, oh, there we go.
This was Mr. Higgs' seat. I don't see the machine Mr. LeBlanc was talking about.
Perhaps it's in the elevator?
Maybe. We should probably head down to the crime scene now.
We have a few minutes to spare. Let's keep looking.
It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. Ah, that's right. I was in the middle of recreating a chess game.
Just an observation, but aren't there too many red knights around that lone blue pawn?
Nonsense. It simply shows that the blue pawn is no match for a red knight's might.
Aren't there only 2 knights in a chess game, like per side? How many knights does he have on the board? Weird. Okay. Also, I feel like the red versus blue thing is a little bit like Edgeworth versus Phoenix, like red and blue, maybe. Just some subconscious power play there going on with Edgeworth in his chess game. Don't get near me, you criminal. He said, "Don't get near me, you criminal." Good translation.
I am not the killer, and I intend to prove that starting now.
But that's contrary to the facts. He says that that's contrary to the facts.
I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. What's a lifesaver doing here?
I bought it at the in-flight shop just beyond the lounge. I don't know how I feel about an in-flight shop selling lifesavers. Like, that's not a vote of confidence. If something should happen, having one will save your life.
I think this guy would have been better off not taking a plane to begin with.
Well, he's being brave. Oh, look, his oxygen mask is down too. That can't be good. It's the drunk guy.
Hey, miss. How about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you know anything about the murder. How about it? How about a glass together? Sorry, but I must decline.
He probably wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't talking to you. I was asking a cute attendant.
I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'd be happy to bring you another glass at any time. He doesn't need one. Even bartenders know when to stop giving their customers beers and drinks. Well, you got it, Toots. But that's no way to talk to a lady. Oh, my favorite passenger. If I may have a word with you. This steak, so awesome. That's great to hear. However, I would like to ask you a few questions. I was here whole time, so wouldn't know. Is that gross? Maybe I'm trying to make like chewing sounds, but it probably just sounds like lip smacking. Eat or speak. Please pick one. No, I'm not gonna. Just use your imagination for that one. I think he chose to eat. Yes, I can hear that. Oh, here we are in the lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Teneiro. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. Fair enough. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means the killer was around somewhere. What clues point to where the killer could have been? Here's logic number one. If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Okay, let's start at the very right, see if there's anything here. The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. So one thing I didn't realize in my first playthrough is that there's no actual time limit. Like, there's no clock running or anything like that. It's just another, if you run out of health, then game over, that kind of thing. So we don't have to worry about that. Glasses and candles thrown in disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. Right. I always like saving the victim for last. let's keep going. This grand piano is the pride of this plane. There's a piano on this plane? It can play the music of what? Wait, what? That's not how pianos work. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive.
That's not a piano. It's more like an overgrown music box.
Ah, but its keys to press along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be entertaining. Oh, that's probably back up to the seating area. This door leads to the flight attendant's room. But please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel.
The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great. However, to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door.
Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Is he really interested? Is that what's going on here? Mr. Edgeworth?
Sorry, I spaced out for a second there.
He totally wants to know what's behind that door.
These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area.
Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you.
I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name.
But she apologized. She made a big deal out of saying she was wrong last time. So stubborn.
There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack.
This month's special is an English trivia quiz.
That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle.
Do I know? I don't think I know. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle?
Case in point.
She can't be that much younger than him. Right?
What or who is this?
This is a bronze statue of the founder of Akbey Airlines, Mr. Hugo Ifly. That's his name. It kind of looks like Ifly. I want to pronounce it that way. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s. They look the same, don't they?
Did the man actually age in the span of 4 decades? Maybe I should squint more.
Alright, I think that leaves the victim.
What floors is his elevator service?
Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny.
Okay, I don't think our logic matches together yet. We only have 2. Let me just check to make sure. Where was the killer? Oh. Maybe. If this helps us narrow down... Nah. Okay. Let's just look around first.
I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight.
So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right here.
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. What is wrong with her?
I see she's over to trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard.
Okay, blunt force trauma on the back of the head.
Even his glasses are broken.
Oh, 2 in a row.
Okay, broken glasses.
Alright, so we've got some information about him. We already looked at the money, but let's see what else he has to say.
Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess that it was all Mr. Hicks's wallet at some point.
Oh, that's the same thing. Oops. Thought since this thing looked like shinier or higher contrast than the other things, it was something different, but I don't think it is. Oh my gosh! Really? I was trying to look at this thing. Oh, there we go.
What is this sinister looking figure on the floor here?
Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. iFly. Oh, it's cute. It's not sinister. It's like a raccoon, I guess. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight shop?
Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment. It was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks's body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon?
Looks like there's something in his pocket.
There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture.
Ugh.
It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere.
That's a very large statue. He's like on the second or third floor. Okay. There's also this like lanyard necklace he's wearing.
I wonder what was hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now if I could just put my finger on it.
Like an ID card? We don't have anything like that though. We have his travel wallet. Okay, that's been slightly updated to say that. He was hit on the back of his head. Magazine, no. Oh, oops, nope, this is the same. Is that everything? I think that's everything. So we have two options. We have either logic or deduce. The question marks are either this piggy bank or the lanyard. I mean, I guess one thing is missing is the, what was it, like the cell phone? The one that the foreigner said was a machine. That's missing, but I don't think we have that as evidence. Unless we go to... Oh, that's not very flattering. From North European Republic of Virginia, says he's a wealthy art dealer, time obsessed. He has several chins. Wow. An Akbey Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. Oh yeah, she's the same age as Edgeworth. Or a little younger, I think. Akbey Hicks, the victim, was seated in first class like myself. I'm not sure what there is to deduce. Okay, cell phone's not an option. I don't think we have anything relevant to... my logic. Okay, it must be something here because another piece of logic isn't gonna fit on this screen. that's my logic behind the logic. Oh, that was lame, sorry. Okay, what clues point to where the killer could have been? The victim's body. Okay, that was the first two things. Mr. iFly. And... oh, it's this, right? And that's just kind of secondary. I don't really think we care about that right now. The most obvious thing is these two.
A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out.
Yes? What is it?
The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. It does?
Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title?
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating?
It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting.
Oh, good one. Okay, so now we have a murder weapon. This elevator logic still seems too vague, I guess. And that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Can we... Yeah, okay. I mean, now that we have that information, do we use it to deduce something? Usually on display at the in-flight shop. Found at a crime scene with blood on it. I mean, we kind of have all we need to know, don't we? No? No, this is the same. We still can't go there. No, it has to have something to do with... There's nothing else in the rest of the lounge. Should I try the logic? It doesn't feel right. Okay, photo in his pocket. The murder weapon. Something about a lanyard. Oh, wait. Let's see. There it is. That's what it is. Okay. He has a flip phone. Who wears a phone on their neck? I have never seen that before. For some reason, that just makes me think of like an overprotective mom, like hanging a cell phone on her child's neck. I don't know where that image came from. Okay, so it was about the cell phone missing. I just didn't have the right piece of information to match up with it. Okay, let's... Oh, no, we want the photo.
Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found.
His machine?
His cell phone, Miss Teneiro.
Ah, so I guess because it's not here...
Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it.
Okay, not a flip phone. I guess it was the back of his phone. Okay, so we are out of things to deduce. And let's see what the phone says. The victim supposedly had one, but it has gone missing. Did the killer take it? Okay. We must be done here. Right? No? Oh, we haven't talked to her yet. Let's do that. Are you in need of assistance? Captain's permission.
Miss Teneiro, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge.
As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around.
If you could pass a message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation.
I will. However, please realize that you are still under suspicion. Yes. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you.
Of course, and I take no offense.
I would be offended. Do you really understand what I'm saying? Is her eye going to twitch again? Okay, right there it is.
Yes, verily.
Do you pinky swear you do on your honor as a professional prosecutor? It's cute. Oh, he does.
I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor. I feel like Edgeworth is the kind of person where if he's like around little kids, they walk all over him. I just have that picture in my mind. Oh, I should have said what she said. I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Miss Teneiro. Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here. Yes, it is a rather tragic crime. I'll say, robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death. Talk about rubbing in the salt. I can't forgive someone who would do this to a passenger of mine. I swear as a professional flight attendant that I will capture the culprit with my own hands. And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. But are you a professional prosecutor? I should go over all the leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving this lies at the intersection of my logic and the evidence. It does? Well... Even if you show that to me, I still cannot allow you free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit that I still have my doubts about— oh my god, how many times do you have to say that? Guilty until proven innocent, I say. Oh, no. No. I bet she's gonna say that about everything. I'm gonna try to phone just to... Nope. Okay, never mind. Okay, I don't think this is right, but I'm gonna do it. Oh, it is right. What? That was lame. Ah. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. There we go. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Can't be related, can it? No, that's too far of a stretch. Oh, here we go. Oh, I missed this the first time. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. Gee, I wonder what it could be. The broken glass. Oh wait, I'm presenting something? Oh no, I'm just... okay, no. There we go. What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that they're a set of footprints. Footprints. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that would be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, this shows that... I think this is it, because it shows that the killer walked away from the elevator. That's the direction the footprints are pointing in. I think it's these two. I have it. I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means... Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator.
Grape juice footprints. Shouldn't Edgeworth have to prove that they're not his footprints if she's still suspicious of him? Investigation complete. Alright, we're gonna stop here for today. So we found a few more clues, including more evidence that the murderer actually exists and was not Edgeworth. But we still have a long way to go, so we'll pick this up next episode and see what else we can find out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you then. Bye!